back, ladies and gents. This time around we're at Fuji in the Infinity GT Manufacturer Series. This race followed on from Catalonia, and this is a reverse grid. So Robuster Hood, who had an awful time out last time in Catalonia, does get pole for this one. Followed by Thundercat on the first row of the grid, Bobby has 91, me, Jason, James, Mutt, so 30 minutes underway. Now let's see what happens in this one. So Fuji, very tight turn 1, and it is lights out and away we go. Everyone seems to get away well. Deli B got a good start there, so did Jason in the background. Robuster trying to defend his lead from Thundercat. Me and Bobby in the McLaren F1s, though this is about the only track this car would work, so we need to maximise our opportunities. Bobby trying to go around the outside. I'm still in 4th, and then behind them you've got Deli B making it through past James Harben. Mutt 36 in 7th, but that VW should go well around here as well. The two Alphas in sector 2 should be pretty dominant. And then Pickles will have to pick his way through from the back, as will Nicolaitis. Further up the front, up the business end, I'm going side by side with Thundercat to try and get his 3rd place off him. That Subaru is a big wide beast. It's not hard to obviously you can tell the size difference between these two cars. The McLaren felt like driving a Diddy Donker toy next to that thing. But this is about the only track that the McLaren can demonstrate the trick up its sleeve, as Deli B goes for a bit of a move down the inside. Wasn't expecting that to happen, so I didn't really defend it, but it's a good move nonetheless. And Deli's up to 4th place now, with me down in 5th. I've got Mutt 36 for company. As Pav 46 goes off the track behind. This is where the McLaren's party piece peels off. You can just see Mutt is firmly in my slipstream, but even with slipstream, the McLaren is pulling away. What on earth is this car all about? Anyway, so McLaren an absolute beast in the straights, pretty much awful everywhere else, but it sounds good and it's fast, so who cares? I see Mutt goes really deep in the background. James Harben battling with Potter. Potter managed to get that move made, but he's got a little bit scruffy on the exit of T1, so he's kind of had to try and recover that. He has got it in front of James though. The Audi would be a bit of a tricky customer to handle that car. Top 5 remain unchanged from the last time we checked on. Bobby has assumed the lead of the race now. A couple of good moves through the start. He's up into P1. Robuster and Deli B representing Jag. So it's an all Britain top 3 there. Me trying to get past Mr. Thundercat. Mutt trying to get past me. And then a small gap back to Potter McPot, who's had a bit of a scruffy lap, but he's still progressing well through the field. Jason trying to get himself past James Harben. Nicolaitis is up 1 spot. That's a car that we'll probably expect to come flying through the field once it gets its tyres up to temp and stuff like that. But for the time being, the Subaru with Thundercat's got some defending to do. See just how easily the McLaren just sweeps past, even though Thundercat's getting slipstream. The fact that I'm in a McLaren F1 means that I've got that move made anyway. A little bit scruffy on the exit though from me, so Thundercat able to close up, but he himself gets it a little bit wide on the exit of T1, and that's going to put him down a couple of temps, so it gives me a bit of breathing space. Mutt 36 starting to gap Potter a little bit. The VW's coming into its own. It's nice and nimble. Short wheelbase car should do quite well around here. Same can be said for Potter really, and Pav in the Alfa Romeos. Speaking of Pav, going for a move down the inside of James Harben. He's got the inside line. Nicolaitis being ever the opportunities. A little bit of contact between everyone there. Pav 46 now up. Nicolaitis P10 at the minute, but looks like he's trying to use his teammate Jason ahead to get a bit of a slipstream, and he does get that move kind of made. Pav's still got his nose in. he just takes a little bit too much speed into their path and has to go off-roading. Oh, and Pav's made a bit of an error there, he's off the track. He's doing a valse through Bottas and cut in the grass. Oh, it's all getting spicy up ahead as well. What's happening up here? So this is between me, Thundercat, Mutt and Potter. So Mutt goes for a massive dive down the inside of Thundercat. I'm left on the outside because I gave the space. And Potter's at the back trying to maximise his opportunities out of this. Obviously the McLaren can just breeze its way past everyone down here now. And it's who's going to dive down the inside, down into T1. Let's have a look. So Thundercat's got the draft of Mutt. Pepsi's nose out, Pot's looking likely as well. Thundercat did give me a little bit of a bump, but you'll notice what he does straight away is just let off the throttle and let me back through again immediately. I'm also able to defend from Mutt given the inside line, so no harm done there at all. Racing resumes. I'm not going to try and drive it around the outside. Thundercat's going to try and keep it around the outside of Potter because the outside here turns to the inside for turn 4. Potter's just managed to get that move made. Potter now getting nice and close to Mutt. Nicolaides now firmly involved in this battle as well. Now we know Nicolaides likes to dive down the inside. He's done just that on Thundercat. The problem is this battling's made me lose the slipstream of the cars ahead, so in this infield sector where my car is no good at all. I'm fighting a bit of a losing battle. I need to basically wait and survive till I get on the straights. Not then defending to Nicolaides. Sometimes it's better to be behind coming onto the long straight. See, there's a load of cars here still very close, and Mudstop is a very close competitive lead this. The top 3 make a little bit of a break for it because there's just battles going on behind here. Looks like Nicolaides is going to go for a move on Mutt. Nicolaides makes that happen. Pot and me. I got it all sorts of wrong on the entry to that. I just took too much curb on the entry and unsettled the car. So I pick up a penalty for that, but the penalty rules in this is you can serve them as and when you please. I've got some dirty tyres though, so I'm just going to be drifting wide and all sorts. I'm just going to be out of shape really. And that's just going to mean I've got very little traction. Nicolaides just able to drive around the outside. Meanwhile, at the top of the field, Bobby leads away then into lap 5 now. Bobby's leading away to Delhi. Delhi's still got Robust behind him, so bringing his Jag teammate along for the ride. A couple of seconds further back, we've got Paul. We did have Potter. He's made a little bit of an error. He's spun there. Unfortunately, the ghosting system kicked in, but that's going to put him all the way down to the back of the pack then, as it all kicks off up ahead. Battle for 4th kind of going now because these lot kicking off is letting Nicolaides drive away into the sunset. And the McLaren F1 showing its hand yet again and just flying away into the distance. A little bit of contact between me and Mutt at the apex, but no harm with that at all really. I got myself a little bit out of shape on the corner there, so Mutt was entitled to put his car there in my opinion. Not an issue at all. I'm still trying to defend though. This is the sector where the VW comes good and the McLaren is absolutely woeful. There's no front end grip on this thing at all. I did feel like driving a Stena Line cruise ship around this place in that second sector. Catalunya was just as bad. You'll have heard me complain about that in the last video, no doubt at all. So the time being then, there is a 6-car battle for 5th carrying on. and one of each manufacturer represented in this, I'd imagine. So we've got a McLaren, we've got a VW, we've got a Toyota, Subaru, there's the Toyota, we've got Audi, and the other Toyota of Fat Pickles Bro. So a lot of different manufacturers battling it out for supremacy. At the minute the McLaren's winning away, but don't expect that to last. Well, now it's in its power zone, it can scream away to victory. As we approach about the 10-minute mark in this, so obviously a half an hour race in total. Meanwhile, up ahead, Bobby's been overtaken by Delhi. So Delhi B is now up to P1. Nicolaitis and Robus Hood going side by side for P3. So Robus must have lost his slipstream at some point, and Nicolaitis has just been able to reel him in over the course of the last couple of laps. And now the Greeks are looking for a move on the Brit ahead. Can he get that done down into T4? Robus goes defensive, Nicolaitis instead goes for the cutback ballot swings. Robus covers that off on the apex. Nice and clean so far. Is Robus going to defend down into turn 6? What is normally a hairpin, but on the short course it's just quite a fast right hand corner. It's not necessarily an overtaking corner, but you can make moves happen here. Down into turn 7, this has been Nicolaitis' favourite spot to make a move, and indeed he's going for it here. Move has been made, that's Nicolaitis now to P3. Fair old gap to P2 though. Let's see if we can reel them in. Mott 36 currently holding P5, then he's done a good job there, got past me. I'm P6 trying to hold off James Harbin and Fat Pickles Bro, who's worked his way up from the back of the pack. Thundercat, Potter and Has91. Potter of course had that spin a couple of laps ago, so he's just recovering his race. I've got a fair old gap to Mutt up ahead, so it's not going to be easy to get us a VW, especially not around here. It goes well. So the rusty Herbie looking machine, P5 at the minute. So he joined me on lap 10, just at the end of lap 9, quite a few cars pitted. Bobby was one of them, I was another. A few guys have stayed out, you can see who they are. We've got Delhi B still out, he's maintaining the lead, keeping quite a good pace as well. He's got Nicolaitis for company behind him. Nicolaitis was putting pressure on Bob, Bob then dived into the pits. Mott 36 is yet to pit. Fat Pickles Bro not yet pitted, James Harbin not yet pitted, Thundercat not yet pitted either, and then the first of the pit stoppers is Bobby. You don't have to pit of course. If you can make your strategy work for a no stop, then feel free to do just that. Robust Hood, another pit stopper, he's in 8th now as his teammate peels off into pits from the lead. So does Nicolaitis. I had to refuel a lot more than the guys ahead, so yeah, a couple of them were able to jump me. One of them was Potter, he did a really aggressive pit stop strategy, so he's light on fuel at the minute I think. And he's probably just aiming to save fuel throughout this stint as well, which is probably the only choice he had to get a result out of the race. MG Jason came in a lap or so ago, and Has91 I think came in the last lap as well. So let's see how the order is now that everyone's been in the pits. It's getting really close between Robus, Mutt, Potter and me for P6. So Mutt of course hasn't yet pitted, so his tyres will have seen better days, so he's essentially now rolling roadblock for all those guys on fresh rubber behind him. Potter will be able to get eager to get these places made up. Up ahead, anything going off, any one of these guys look like they're going to pit. So Nicolaitis, I want to say, he's pitted as well. Yeah, he has. So him and Bobby are going to resume their little battle. James Harbin is he trying to no stop? Very brave in that Audi R8, loves to chew its rear tyres up, so we'll see if he peels off into the pits this time around. Potter's got himself up to 7th. I want to say Robus had an issue somewhere. Let's have a quick look back at that. This is where Potter got through, I followed through quickly after. He just served a penalty, stayed out of the way. Yeah, nice and easy that one. So Robus opted to get his penalty served, and quite smartly as well, get some slipstream down the front straight while he's at it. So James Hartman then carrying on another lap. In the Audi R8, he's got GT Delhi B. The company's just set his fastest lap of the race, James Hartman, so he's obviously feeling like he's got good pace, but he lets Delhi B through. Delhi's of course on fresh tyres, so it probably makes sense, to be fair. Bobby with Nicolaitis for company, currently holding P3. Well, Nicolaitis will be looking to change that and swap the order around a little bit. Fat Pickles, bro. P5 for him. He will be doing a similar strategy as Potter, where he'll have saved a lot of fuel in the first stint and will have saved him time in the pit stops. Then it's Mutt36 who I want to say has pitted. I know I said a lap or so ago he hasn't, but looking at his lap times, he has pitted because there's a 1:59 in there, so he pitted lap 10, so my mistake for that one. He's just having trouble getting his tyres warmed up then, I think, by the looks of things, but now he's getting caught a little bit. I'm still in a little bit of a battle with Robus to Hood. Me and him have had a lot of on-track battles. We're very familiar with each other's driving style. A couple of seasons in the GTTCC together. He's a fast guy, he's Robus. Currently it's me just that one place ahead, but plenty of time for that to change. Potter's just set his fastest lap of the race. Does it look like anyone's making any moves? Nicolaitis, let's see if he goes for a move down the end of the front straight on Bobby. You'll hear the McLaren F1 snap, crackle and pop as it brakes. There we go. Nicolaitis does go for the move, pops his nose out, but Bobby's just able to defend that. So the battle resumes on. Fat Pickles is closing in on those guys now. Pot's ahead of Mutt. I'll be sizing Mutt up next, hoping to get myself through. In P10 we've got Jason, who pitted a couple of laps earlier than everyone else, and he's probably on the oldest tyres out of everyone other than James Hartman now. Speaking of James, where is he? He's there. So still in the 35, so still holding good pace. If anything, his fuel limit is doing a much better job of looking after his tyres, it must be said. It's something he was complaining about in the Group 4 races. The TT is awful at it, but the Group 3 just seems to get more of a handle on it. That being said, he might come in now for a bit of a splash and dash for a set of tyres and just have a really quick stint at the end. So James could be dangerous in this last stint, depending what he opts to do. Looks like he's peeling off into the pit lane, and the Audi team, yeah, we're rushing out into the pit lane to change the boots on that car. That will mean that Bobby and Nicolaitis, as we just ride on board with the Greek, will assume second and third respectively. Does Nicolaitis go for the move down into T1? I guess on the brakes a fraction later than Bob. Bob does give him the room, but Nicolaitis just said I'll have that space anyway, and yeah, he's come off well worse on that one. Let's have a look at that from outside the car. He almost seemed to brake and then let off the brakes, which was a bit strange. Yeah, still contact, so no advantage gained by Nicolaitis there. If anything, he's lost out by that, and Fat Pickles bro's probably going to put him under a little bit of pressure now. But he was that was a Charles Leclerc on Vettel sort of incident, that. No, it didn't seem like he was anywhere near making the move. Pot P5 for him, so far an impressive drive from him. Mutt and me and him still going at it. I do have James Hartman behind me now, who is going to be on fresh tyres. I'm probably about the peak of the McLaren's tyre life. It's going to start falling off now. I've just set my fastest lap of the race, a 34.1. think the fastest lap was like a mid or high 33, which Delhi set, I want to say. We can check that through the race. Meanwhile, yep, Fat Pickles gaining on Nicolaitis. Nicolaitis just took advantage of Bobby going wide there. And the McLaren F1, I dare say, is going to out-drag the Toyota in the straight. But we know Nicolaitis is last of the late breakers, so let's see what happens down into T1 and see if Bobby defends it. It'll be interesting to see if that's what happens. Bobby does go defensive then, so he's looking to keep this place. Nicolaitis going to have to hang this one round the outside. It's not easy to do that, but he does keep a nose in. Just about holds the car. But Bobby maintains P2 for the time being. He's going to have his work cut out keeping the Greek behind him. He's hoping for a little bit of intervention from Fat Pickles though. Let's see if Fat Pickles can put the Greek under some pressure. Let's just a quick flick through the field, see what's going on. Not too much. Oh, Delhi 33.4 for him so far in the race. Let's keep an eye on this battle for second. This is where the action seems to be. Bobby is going defensive. Nicolaitis there. Oh, I don't know. He's a drifter. Really held that really well. Let's just come on board with Nicolaitis there. That was a good bit of car control. So Bobby's defending. Bobby's come back to take the racing line. Yeah, again, I think Nicolaitis could have just backed off a little bit there, but he helped. Credit to Nicolaitis for holding that though. That was a great bit of car control from him. A sideways drift at about 100 miles an hour, and he held it, so well done to him. And meanwhile, I'm coming under a little bit of pressure from the Audi of James Harben now. James is just going to have to kind of hang with me on the straight. The Audi's no match for the McLaren in a straight line, but it's much better at cornering. You will just see the McLaren start to pull away slightly. Again, probably a couple of attempts. I pull out to break the slipstream there. James doesn't join me. And no attack is made. Jason and Robust. Nothing happening between those two right now, although they're still quite close on track. I do love the noise of that McLaren. It is a good sounding car. Nicolaitis still chasing down. Oh, Pickles has made an error. What's happened to Pickles? So he was third, following Bobby into turn 2. I dare say he's just going to run this a little bit wide and get some dirty tyre. Yeah, look at that. He's just dipped his back wheel on that. Collects the barrier for good measure. Fat Pickles is going to fall back to... where is he? He comes out ahead of me, so P6 for Fat Pickles then after that little incident. Gives Nicolaitis a free run at Bobby though, with 5 minutes remaining. So interesting to see if Nicolaitis can get past Bobby. He's tried a couple of times and failed. Bobby's defended really well so far. Delhi's got the win sewn up so far if he can just keep his car on the track for 5 more minutes. Bobby and Nicolaitis are going to battle for this last 5 minutes, I feel, so the win is his if only he can hold his nerve. Nicolaitis are going to be in a position to make a move. James Harben might be in a position to make a move on me. So again, down into T1. Let's see if Nicolaitis can get the move made this time. He's slightly behind his end to the braking zone. Does he go for the cutback this time? Probably a wiser move. Yeah, that's what he goes for. But Bobby manages to get some good traction out of that McLaren and keep the spot for the time being. So far Bobby holding stand in P2. Mutt he's got past Potham at Pot. He's up to P4. He's just at 33.9 as Mutt, so a cracking lap from him. Potter tries to stick his nose out the inside. Mutt closes that door on him. I've still got James Harben all over me. The battle between Robus and Jason has eased. Thundercat and Has91 after having little offs, I think. Just kind of racing around to complete the race now. Oh, Nicolaitis has passed Bobby. Where did this happen? Yeah, so Nicolaitis just got better traction there, looking at it. And he's going to just outbrake Bobby coming down here. A nice move by Nicolaitis for that. See Bobby, as we're quite close to the straight now, if Bobby can just stick with him through this section, he might have a chance of getting him back down into turn 1. He's getting heated between Potter and Mutt. Potter desperately wants that P4 and more. And you can tell just by the body language of that car just how hard he's pushing to get the VW. The Alpha's not got the beans in the straight, but it has got the cornering ability. Bobby is managing to stick with Nicolaitis, who's weaving all over the track. I'm not sure you're allowed to make that many moves, but hey ho. Hold station into P2 then does Nicolaitis. Bottom at Pot has managed to get past Mutt 36. Let's have a quick look at how that happened. It was just a brief move down into C1, nice and easily done. Bottom at Pot, nice and measured overtake on Mutt there down the front straight. We've got a couple of minutes remaining in this one though, so anything yet can happen. James Harben's still all over the back end of me, but as of yet hasn't managed to find anywhere to make a move happen. I'm having to defend though. I've spent a lot of my race defending. It's been a busy one for me. I've spent a lot of it on the back foot, not really got the pace everyone else has got, and just fighting off the inevitable moves that people have been making. It's getting very close up ahead though. Potter, Mutt and Pickles very close between them. Bobby's starting to fall into their clutches a little bit. He's starting to lose Nicolaitis, and Nicolaitis now starting to drive away. Bobby will be suffering with tyres on that McLaren. He's had to do a lot of defending. I dare say we're now entering the last lap of the race. So just as a little bit of a recap, we've not covered him much. He's had a fantastically controlled stint. The Lewis Hamilton of this series, GT Delhi being this race. Fantastically controlled, has led it most of it. Nicolaitis has had a busy one. P2 for Nicolaitis so far. Bobby P3, but he's coming under pressure from Potter and Mutt, and potentially Fat Pickles can get involved in this as well. But Potter's going to be very feisty this lap. He knows this is his last chance to get past the ailing McLaren. So we'll just keep tabs on this for a second. Potter's going to try and drive around the outside, and that Alpha, oh, the traction he got on that Alpha then. Bobby's not able to do anything about it in a McLaren. He has got the speed though, so he can deploy a little bit of that BMW engine V10 down the back. Potter is going to defend that, knowing that that's probably what Bobby's going to try. They go side by side. Bobby's off the track, just carried a little bit too much speed into the corner. Mutt 36 punts his way through. Let's have a little look at that from Mutt's perspective. So this is on board with the VW. So you can see Bobby there. Mutt gives him the room. Yeah, just a little bit of contact there on the car. I'm not going to sit and analyse that. Oh, but upon the entry to the track. So that's Mutt down to P6. That's Fat Pickles Pro up. Oh, and it's all got a little bit messy down here now. It's all got very messy down here now. Let's have a look. So if you look, yeah, Mutt just goes up the inside of Pickles. There's some contact as Pickles tries to make the corner. Unfortunately, that's just destroyed that race. So GT Delhi B takes the win. Beautiful controlled race from GT Delhi B and Nicolaitis. He's going to come home into P2. Podomat Pot. He's going to hold firm in P3, or is he? Because Mutt 36 is a coming. Could be a photo finish between these guys. Mutt 36 gets P3 instead. Podomat Pot P4. I was going to say Podomat Pot at the end. Lost out loads there. He got a really bad run off the final corner. You can see Mutt 36 behind. Look at Bobby, how far Bobby is back. I was just on board with the McLaren driver. I mean, he's that quick. He manages to get Potter at the line by minuscules of a second. I take P6. Pickles takes P7. MG Jason P8 with James Harbin P9 in the end. Roger still P10, Thundercat P11 and Has91 gonna come home in P12. So that brings week 2 to a conclusion. Let's have a look at the championship standings for the drivers. A couple of moves and changes. Fat Pickles and Nicolaitis move up, so does Potter. Delhi B moves up quite a lot as well. So as you can see on the screen, quite a lot of movement in the Drivers' Championship. A lot of time to go yet. We've still got another 8 races, so anything can happen. In terms of the manufacturers, a little bit of movement in that. Alfa Romeo maintain their top spot. Subaru leapfrogged them as well. McLaren, Volkswagen and Audi pretty similar on points, but Jaguar and Mercedes starting to lag behind a little bit. Back to the Group 4s next week then. Now we've got the Group 3 machinery out the way, and we're going to Alsace and Blue Moon. Make sure to tune in for those videos. And as always, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that jazz mataz. See you later.